Hello everyone, this is your host Rohan Tandil from InnoHealth Magazine Studio. I welcome you to this broadcast produced by InnovatioCuris with a mission to spread awareness and knowledge of various facets of healthcare innovation. This podcast is the sixth in the series Voices of IC Innovator from InnoHealth Magazine, the first magazine in India on healthcare innovations. In this series, we would be exploring the essence of the IC InnovatorCLUB through its club members' perspectives. Today, we are going to have a conversation with our guest speaker, Dr. Jaspal Singh. He has been in biomedical related technologies for over 28 years now. He has worked for multinational companies like GE Medical, has trained engineers, imparted consultancy to hospitals, and is now head of smart systems research and development at C-DAC Mohali. He received the Technovation 2015, that is, Most Innovative Product Award from the IESA for his Miniature Vibe ECG. Welcome, Dr. Jaspal, to our podcast. How are you today, sir?
I'm fine. Thank you, Rohan. So nice to call me on this interview.
So now coming to the podcast, let me elaborate on the flow of this podcast. I will be asking you a series of questions and we may discuss your views and opinions on it.
Right.
So let us begin. As we know, we grow in our career with the help of various experiences, be it good or bad. Those experiences bring in some important lessons. The realization of such a lesson depends on the person. So my question to you is, what is that one thing or that one lesson that you wish you knew at the start of your career? Or say, you made a realization after many years and would have preferred otherwise?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. You see, at the beginning of the career, one is always full of energy and enthusiasm and wish to do a lot of things. And there's a lot of energy to do various things. But as you rightly pointed out, there is one thing which is missing is the experience. Even if you read the best of the books, even if you read the autobiographies of whomsoever you want to read, you cannot get what experience actually teaches you. So even at beginning of my career, I was very enthusiastic and wanted to do a lot of things. I wanted to go for higher studies. I wanted to also clear the IAS. And I passed out from Thapar. So there was a culture to go to MNCs there, and many of the MNCs used to come for campus interviews. And so everybody is fancy with the MNCs. So I also joined a MNC, ignoring some of my wishes to go for higher studies and IAS. But all those wishes and thoughts keep on pondering you, and so that is the one thing which I lacked, the experience and the vision to know what is best for me. So I'll just summarize this thing in saying that the experience is lacking and the vision to know what is my strength, what is good for me, and what is the world really looking for. If you want a little bit of more on this, I'll just say it in this way. Like every kid passing out from a good institute wants to do his best and join the MNCs and pick up the highest salary possible there. So that is one of the biggest thing that we generally get mistaken. Salaries are unimportant. Your passion is the only thing, and you're very difficult to realize those things with little bit of experience and a lot of energy. So that is one thing which I wish I knew it slightly better, and maybe I would have been a much better position. So that's always a thought. Anyway, whatever I'm great. I'm thankful to the God. So that's the answer to your question.
Sir, you rightly mentioned that in the beginning of the career stages, a person always have a lot of energy and has very less sense of direction. So rather than just going for big targets, one should always check out that what kind of passion he has and how he would be able to perform well and maintain that passion throughout his career.
Yes, correct.
So moving ahead, through our life and career, we use many things as stepping stones to grow and develop to be the ideal personality or role that we want to play in our future. Some of them enabling us to take a major leap due to its deep impact on our minds. So my question to you is, what are the resources that had a major influence on you as a professional or as an individual?
Okay, resources, I'll say material resources generally did not have much influence. More than that was satisfaction of intellectual satisfaction, I'll put it like this. I have always been interested in learning new things and doing something more innovative and technology oriented things. So that is one intellectual satisfaction. That's I'll call it as a resource, because that's what one is looking for in himself or herself. And I was also bestowed with these some good qualities, and which actually had a major influence in making me pursue the career, which has a lot of dimensions, which has multiple dimension, you can say, and multifaceted career. So that is one thing which influenced my career. And secondly, of course, the family makes a lot of difference. If family income was slightly more, I had early on in my career, I had a better family income and better support from family. I might have been something different, maybe, but the family resources and own satisfaction are the two important things which influenced me and my career and profession and molded me into what I am today.
True, sir. Resources doesn't always mean that something external. It can be something that's within us. So kind of like self-motivation.
Right.
So going to the next question. Like resources, we come across many personalities whose life decisions or maybe passion towards their career or any other attribute want us to mirror those personalities. So I would like to know which person or who are the people you idealize and why.
One is my Guru Gobind Singh Ji, which most of Sikhs always follow. And he's definitely one of the greatest person ever lived on this planet. He was a great warrior. He was a great motivator. He was a great sacrificer. He was a great spiritual leader. So you name it and he has the qualities. But it's very difficult to follow or imitate or even understand the kind of things they were into. Anyway, that apart, but I'll say in the modern days, I'll say Professor Abdul Kalam, our president, is one person who I really idolize. And he worked in DRDO, and he was a missile scientist and led our Indian initiatives. And from there on, his career shows a lot of things. One of them is the simplicity. High ideals in thinking, as far as the thoughts go, probably his thoughts are really marvelous. But his simplicity, you all may be aware that he was, even towards the end of his life, he had a very small home and used to live in a very, very, very simple manner. So that person is really truly a great person. If you can imitate him, if you can follow his thoughts and ideals, wonderful, nothing like it. And he's a great scientist and he's a great human being. Ultimately rose to whatever levels he actually, God was so kind, he rose to such a great levels. All of us may not reach that kind of levels, even in various aspects due to various reasons and all that. But still, we must follow those kind of people, and those are the really great people. I think I'll just summarize with that. Professor Abdul Kalam, our president, our past president, great person. Yeah.
True, sir. Going ahead, I would like to talk about careers. So many people faces various hardships throughout their career. So I would like to know some of those hardships you faced in your career and how you find inspiration from such situations.
Okay, in the career, most of the people generally have, I'll say just if you compare with the cricket match, 3 innings a person is generally plays. One early in the career when person is full of energy and wants to hit every ball for a 6, and somewhere in the middle he understands what he has to do and stabilizes, and towards the end when his own faculties, his own health and other issues make a lot of difference and a lot of influence. So generally a person has 3 innings and Each of the innings has its own hardships. In my early career, I had a lot of zeal and wanted to do a lot of things. So, but as you also rightly noticed, that when you do a lot of things, you ultimately have some difficulties in realizing what actually your own passion is. So, in the early on, that was the hardship I had of making some proper decisions. Some very, very intelligent decisions do not come at that stage, and because experience is lacking. In the second stage, the hardships are generally mostly related to the family matters. You have your kids, the kids are just growing up, and you have to attend to them, you have to attend to the family, you have to attend to the earnings of the family, and so you have to attend to your own career also. So those kind of hardships are common, and almost everybody faces that in the second part of his professional career. And of course, those things do happen, but those things are just because they are happening to almost everybody. So they don't really actually, if you have some guts, if you have the what it takes to be a man, those things really do not matter so much. And the inspiration to do things is there's a lot of inspiration naturally built there at the second stage. It's at the third stage where you need a lot of different issues are coming up, when you have to marry the kids, when you have to settle them, and you have to settle your own things, because those health may not be that helpful. And so at the third stage, it is where your inspiration and your own what you have in yourself, your own thoughts, and make a lot of difference. So it is here I'm almost into that third stage, and I find inspirations from people like Abdul Kalam and my guru, and spiritual thoughts, and even office people, talking to them, helping them gives a lot of inspiration. Help others, help everybody, help the students, help the mentor them, let them grow. So those kind of thoughts and those kind of activities give a lot of inspiration to carry on doing the good thing.
Sir, that was a well answer, an elaborate one. Moving ahead, besides your current profession, what profession would you like to explore?
Other than what I'm currently doing, I'm very much interested in writing certain novels, although still I'm not able to find time, although it may already be too late to get into that thing. But I like to mentor people, and I like to do the consultancy, free consultancies. Because I happen to have a lot of worked in various technologies, various organizations, and based on my experience, I love to give consultancy to various technical matters, as well as career related issues to various people, preferably students, the young budding engineers. So mentoring and consultancy is one thing which I love to do, and I often do it. And I do it on a voluntary basis, no remuneration for that. So that's one thing which I already do and would like to continue doing those things.
Moving ahead, everyone performs some activity in their life to rejuvenate themselves or just put out their daily workload. So my question to you is, what makes you feel your best self, rejuvenate you from the daily workload and stress?
Yeah, for rejuvenation, as I said, helping others is one thing which always rejuvenates me. And that's something natural to almost every human being. And so I also do this kind of activities, like, of course, Seva at a Gurudwara is something which is some sort of helping others. But in technical stuff and other matters, I often help others and think about own technical stuff, new innovative thoughts is also rejuvenates me. And thinking about certain things ab initio, you mean A lot of people know, because coming at this stage of life, you know a lot of things, and it's very difficult to think afresh about certain things. If you have been doing certain thing for the last 20 years and you want to think afresh, what else out of the box, how we can do this thing in a new way. So then that thing kindles, rejuvenates me. So thinking out of the box is a real source of rejuvenation for me, and I love doing it.
Now, coming to the club, talking about the IC InnovatorCLUB, I would like to ask what it means for you to be a member of this club.
Yeah, the membership has given me, linked to me so many people. I have come across a lot of leading people in the field, and I wish if the COVID was not there, we would have actually physically met, and the link and all that might have been more stronger. Anyway, but still, the most important thing that this club gives is the link to so many good people in the exact field that we are interested in. And a lot of events also keep on happening. So those are the two most important things.
Coming to my next question, I would like to ask what are the functions that this club performs and how does it help a member to grow as an individual?
Yeah, as I said, the meetings, the discussion, the competitions, and various other events that this club performs are the things that we look forward to, and these are the things that really helps every member. And we always look forward to these things, and more connection to the people, connect to various things and new thoughts, a new way of workings, new people. That's what is the primary thing.
So, coming to my next question, what does innovation mean to you considering the healthcare industry?
Okay. Innovation, as you know, is something when you put something new and novel into some whatever thing you're doing, whether if you've been doing even for several years, but if you want to do it, if you do certain thing in a new way, that's innovation. So in healthcare, innovation is a natural thing. Healthcare is also a multidimensional thing. You have a medical professional there. You have a technical thing, because almost every healthcare activity is today linked to some of the other technology, technical equipment or technology or some instrument or some device or something. So technology, the healthcare people, and at the same time, there is another third thing, which is, we can say, human factors engineering, or we can say as ergonomics, or something that happens at the interface of device, something that happens at the interface of the technology and the human patient. So there are a lot of things which, by interface, I mean it can be a physical thing, it can be a mechanical thing, it can be an emotional thing. If you put a device on the person's wrist, it is there on the wrist, and it is a physically the person is impacted, and emotionally also you can give some. There's a change, there's a difference. So there are a lot of things in this healthcare part. So it is a multidimensional thing, and innovation is something natural when you have multidimensional things coming into picture. More and more people thinking into the same thing actually gives you the innovation startup. So when you think the same thing with few different thoughts in your mind, that gives rise to the innovation. In healthcare, this thing happens quite naturally, and this the biggest proof of this is this COVID epidemic, which has actually created a lot of problems for the human life across the world. At the same time, it has given us so many new technologies to look into, to work with, and already the people have jumped into those technologies so vehemently. The telemedicine has been launched in India during this COVID. Last April, Government of India launched the e-Sanjeevani web portal, which is today clicking more than 1 lakh consultations, roughly 50,000 consultations per day, and 1 lakh consultations if you put all across the various two modes of the e-Sanjeevani portal. So telemedicine has taken the fancy of the people. Similarly, several new technologies have already come. India has jumped into manufacturing of ventilators and several other devices which were earlier not being manufactured. So COVID has given a lot of opportunity for new devices, and I hear every third day I find some COVID related innovation being done here and there. And so COVID has given us a lot of innovation and thoughts for doing those things. So what I mean to say is that healthcare has naturally having a lot of things inbuilt into that. But just as COVID has given us an opportunity to explore those things, similarly, when we do not think about those opportunities, we are not naturally getting those innovations. But otherwise, just because of the primary nature of healthcare being a multidimensional thing, you can have a lot of innovations, you can have a lot of thoughts, you can have a lot of ideas coming up. So innovation in healthcare is a really is a big thing, has caught the fancy of the people now, and we have getting a lot of startups. And I also want to look forward to mentoring various people, various young budding thought leaders and idea creators, just mentoring them, just understanding and guiding them how better we can do the things. And so that's about innovation in healthcare, and I think I've covered the various things. And so innovation in healthcare is something which is really required, which is really natural, which we want to do, and people are already doing. And COVID has given us a lot of opportunities. So let's look forward to more innovation in this and a greater role to play in this. Yeah,
sir. As you said, healthcare has various dimensionalities, but before COVID, they were not being explored. So COVID kind of gave a boost to innovations in this particular industry, and we see increasing portability in each factors. Like, as you mentioned, that ventilators are being made up which are portable and can be brought up to home and provide the service. So like that, many other services I've personally seen that are getting portability in an increased manner.
Correct.
So for my last question, I would like to ask, where can our listeners connect to you?
Okay, you can share my email ID, which is jaspal_sng@yahoo.com. You can also share my phone number, which if you want, I can just speak it here, 9876002686. And of course, I'm there at LinkedIn, WhatsApp, and ResearchNet and various other platforms. Yeah.
So the link to connect with our guest speaker, Dr. Jaspal Singh, will be down in the description. Thank you, Dr. Jaspal, for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you so much, Rohan. It's my pleasure, and look forward to further events. Thank you. All the best.
I would also like to call out to our audience to leave a comment with a review and let us know whether you like the podcast. Drop down a comment if you have any podcast ideas or recommendations. You can also connect with us if you have a healthcare innovation journey of your own to be a part of our podcast series. And for more such content on healthcare and innovation, visit innohealthmagazine.com. Stay safe. Goodbye from your host, Rohan Tandale, from the InnoHealth Magazine studio. Thank you.